Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Miss Brenda Lee McCullough, the Installation Management Command Readiness Director, and Command Sergeant Major Michael Lee Oliver, welcome to today's Change of Command ceremony for the United States Army Garrison, Fort Johnson. Our special guests attending today's ceremony include Brigadier General David Gardner, JRTC and Fort Johnson Commanding General, Command Sergeant Major David Hanson, JRTC and Fort Johnson Post Command Sergeant Major, Louisiana State Senator Mike Reese, Louisiana State Representative Rodney Wayne Shammerhorn, Miss Lee Turner, representing Senator Bill Cassidy, Mr. Woody Daigle, representing Senator John Kennedy, Miss Whitney Lambright, representing Congressman Mike Johnson, Mayor Keith and Mrs. Carol Lewing, Village of Anacoco, Mayor Rick Allen, City of Leesville, Mayor Carolyn Todd, Town of New Lano, Mayor Donna Duval, Town of Rosepine, Mayor Carrie Henry, Town of DeRidder, Mayor Vicki Stanifer, Village of Simpson, Mr. Logan Morris, Greater Vernon Chamber of Commerce, Miss Cindy Janine, Greater Vernon Chamber of Commerce, Miss Deborah Randolph, Central Louisiana Regional Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Charlie Elliott, Millionaire Alexandria, Mr. Ben Russo, Central Louisiana Regional Port. In addition to these esteemed guests, we are very pleased to have in attendance a number of retired and active senior officers, non-commissioned officers, current and former members of the Senior Executive Service, representatives of our corporate partners, communities, families, friends, and associates of the JRTC and Fort Johnson. We would also like to extend a special welcome to the members of the Garrison workforce who have joined us for our ceremony today. Thank you all for attending. The official party for today's ceremony is Miss Brenda Lee McCullough, Installation Management Command Readiness Director. The outgoing commander is Colonel Samuel P. Smith, Jr., and the incoming commander is Colonel Clifton J. Lopez. The commander of troops for today's ceremony is Captain Brandon S. Owlett, Commander, United States Army Garrison, Fort Johnson, Headquarters and Headquarters Company. The color guard is comprised of soldiers from the United States Army Garrison, Headquarters and Headquarters Company. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the invocation given by the JRTC and Fort Johnson Installation Chaplain, Chaplain Colonel Michael Jeffries.
I invite you to join me in prayer this morning. Heavenly Father, we invite your presence and blessing upon today's change of command ceremony. Changes of leadership are significant times in an organization and provide opportunity to grow to new levels of success and also times of risk. Guide us through this time of transition to maintain momentum, to reach to the next level of success, to serve our soldiers, families, and DA civilian workforce. Thank you for Colonel Sam Smith and his commitment and passion for Fort Johnson that has been on display from day one. His encouragement and direction led us to make tremendous strides in making this a better place to work and to live. Thank you for his friendship and for her and his friendship. They have made the foxhole better and added joy to the mix. We look forward to getting to know Colonel Clifton Lopez and Mary and ask your wisdom, protection, and blessing to be upon them. We pledge to give to them our loyalty and devotion to strive together to continue to make Fort Johnson the best garrison in the Army. God bless Fort Johnson and strengthen our hands and souls to equip our men and women to fight and win. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, Sergeant Stemple is presenting a bouquet of spring flowers to Colonel Smith's mother, Miss Billy Taylor. He is also presenting Colonel Smith's husband, Mr. Hernan DePavia, a bouquet of hydrangeas, roses, and sunflowers. At this time, Sergeant Shepard is presenting a bouquet of yellow roses to Mrs. Mary Lopez. Yellow is the color of new beginnings and symbolizes her arrival to the United States Army Garrison, Fort Johnson. In time, the rosebuds will blossom, as will Mrs. Lopez's relationship with the soldiers and their families. His daughter, Fallon, is also being presented yellow roses, and son, Cal, a token of appreciation, welcoming them to the Garrison family. His mother, Margie, is also being presented yellow roses, as well as his father, CJ II, a token of appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the posting of the colors and the singing of the national anthem by Mrs. Monica Knight.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light one so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, the official party will take their places to conduct the passing of the Garrison colors. The key to the change of command is the passing of the unit's colors. These colors represent not only the heritage and history of the unit, but also the unity and loyalty of its soldiers. Since the early days of warfare, colors have served as the talisman of the unit identity. The flag was symbolic. It helped units develop a sense of pride and esprit de corps, as well as serve the more practical purpose of marking the location of the commander and providing a rally point for soldiers during the smoke and chaos of battle. The colors are the commander's symbol of authority, representing his responsibilities to the organization. Wherever the commander is, so are the colors. The custodian of the colors is the command sergeant major. As the senior enlisted soldier in the unit and principal advisor to the commander, the passing of the colors symbolizes the transfer of authority from the outgoing commander to the incoming commander. The passing of the colors symbolizes the transfer of command responsibility and authority. The ceremony begins as Command Sergeant Major Nielsen passes the colors to Colonel Smith for the final time. Colonel Smith passes the colors to Miss McCullough, thereby relinquishing his responsibilities and authority. Miss McCullough passes the colors to Colonel Lopez, charging the new commander with the same responsibilities and authority. By authority of Army Regulations 600-20, paragraph 2-5, the undersigned assumes command of the United States Army Garrison, Fort Johnson, effective 1000 hours, 15 June 2023. Signed, Clifton J. Lopez III, Colonel, United States Army Garrison, commanding. Colonel Lopez passes the colors to Command Sergeant Major Nielsen for safekeeping. Ladies and gentlemen, the Installation Management Command Readiness Director, Miss Brenda McCullough.
Good morning. Distinguished guests, Command Sergeants Major, and members of the Smith and Lopez families, civilians, friends of Fort Johnson, home of the heroes, Hua.
Oh.
It's great to be back in the land of mud bugs, Mardi Gras, and beignets. Today we honor one of our military's oldest traditions by witnessing the change of command between Colonel Samuel Sam Smith and Colonel Clifton Cliff Lopez III. As the Director of MCOM Readiness, United States Army Installation Management Command, it is my distinct privilege and honor to serve our soldiers, civilians, and families, and always a pleasure to officiate a change of command. As a Texan, my comments are similar to that of the horns of a Texas Longhorn. A point in the beginning, a point in the end, and a little bull in between. First, to the soldiers of the Garrison Headquarters and Headquarters Company Color Guard, thank you for sharing your talents with precision and discipline. Your performance honors all of those who serve. Please join me in giving them a well-deserved round of applause. I'd also like to thank the singer of the national anthem, one of the hardest songs to ever do a cappella. Another round of applause, please. It's such a privilege to be here with you as we salute an outstanding Garrison commander, Colonel Sam Smith, his spouse Hernan, and welcome Colonel Cliff Lopez and his spouse Mary and their wonderful children, Cal and Fallon. Thank you for attending today's change of command ceremony. Sam, I know this is a bittersweet day for you. Commanding a garrison is one of the highest military honors one can experience, for both the tremendous responsibility as well as the trust we place in you to lead and care for our national treasures, soldiers, civilians, and their families. Although I must say we are sad to see you and your vibrant personality go, congratulations are seriously in order on your next position as the Senior Military Advisor to the Undersecretary of Defense for Personnel and Readiness. Congratulations, Sam. Installation Management Command is the Army's strategic power projection platform, propelling the warfighter rapidly into any theater around the globe. The Army entrusts garrison commanders to defend and secure Army installations, and you, Sam, as the garrison commander, led our nation's defense of Fort Johnson with unparalleled expertise and grace. Garrison Command is a tough job. General officers commonly refer to Garrison Command as one of the most difficult colonel-level commands in the Army, but not without its personal challenges, fun learning experiences, and opportunities. In fact, Garrison staff constantly tells me Colonel Smith's success is due to his unwavering positive attitude and love of the Garrison staff. And as any good Garrison commander knows, one cannot simply command a garrison from inside an office. A garrison commander must be immersed in the spirit of the local community. I understand Colonel Smith's choice of bright apparel won him the loudest suit competition. And like any good garrison commander, he knows the terrain here at Fort Johnson. Sam, I understand you were able to find the only floating log in Toledo Bend Recreation Area with the front of your boat. And it appears Sam likes Starbucks coffee. because I personally received a communication from Starbucks Enterprises last week concerned over the projected 50% drop in revenue with Colonel Smith's departure. Sam, all joking aside, from June 2021 through June 2023, you led U.S. Army Garrison Fort Johnson as our nation's premier warfighter training center. You led the team in continuing its nothing but exceptional support to the senior commander, and you did so while skillfully managing critical fiscal and resourcing challenges. Brigadier General Gardner, thank you for your leadership and the support to the garrison. Sam, I'd like to take a brief moment to highlight a few of your accomplishments. First, from the very beginning, Colonel Smith led Fort Johnson with a rarely seen level of energy, competence, and humility. Supporting over 38,000 soldiers, Colonel Smith diligently maximized community partnering opportunities to ensure the quality of life for all soldiers and families. Colonel Smith drove quality of life to enter a post-COVID environment with minimal impact successfully, but also improved the quality of life across all facets of garrison life. Second, never one to say that's good enough. Colonel Smith initiated and saw several community and quality of life projects to fruition, such as the new community indoor playground, renovation of Warrior Lanes Bowling Center, and the 50-meter pool, even constructing a new car wash, which includes a pet cleaning station. Third, I hope everyone here today can see that Colonel Smith is truly a soldier's leader who managed through the pandemic pressure with a level of expertise that makes us all extremely proud. I know I speak on behalf of Lieutenant General Jones and Brigadier General Gardner when I say Fort Johnson's continuous success over the last 2 years is directly attributable to you. Now let me take you back to 1980 and the United States men's Olympic hockey team against a superior, unbeatable Soviet Red Army team at Lake Placid, New York. The Soviet team won the previous 5 of 6 Winter Olympic Games. The core team were professionals who played together for 15 years. The simple truth is, Soviets were the best hockey team in the world. They were unbeatable. By contrast, the United States hockey team consisted of amateur college hockey players with only 11 months practice before the Olympics. 3 days before the opening of the Winter Games, the Soviets played the U.S. Olympic team in an exhibition game. The Soviet hockey team routed the U.S. 1980 Olympic team by 10-3, demonstrating they were indeed the best hockey team in the world and would likely win the gold medal. Only a miracle could prevent the Soviets from the gold medal podium at Lake Placid. On February 22nd, the USSR and the U.S. teams met on the Olympic ice. U.S. fans filled the arena to capacity and the patriotic chant of USA rang throughout the building. The game was tied 3-3 in the third period when team captain took a shot from the slot and scored the go-ahead goal for the United States, propelling the team eventually to win the 1980s men's Olympic hockey gold medal. Why is this important? The historic game reminds me of our garrison commanders, always the underdog, always overmatched, with larger-than-life problems and faced with unbeatable odds every day. Over the last 8 years, just like the 1980 Olympic hockey team, I've seen the grit and determination of our commanders succeed against overwhelming odds at every turn. So yes, I believe in miracles. They happen every day at Fort Johnson. Thank you, Sam. To Colonel Smith and the garrison staff, thank you for the daily miracles you provide to the soldiers, civilians, and family members of Fort Johnson. Sam, when you took command, you heard me say to take care of your people. Today, I proudly say that you answered that call, and because of your outstanding leadership and team support, our nation's forces continue to remain the most superior, ready fighting force in the world. Thank you and your commitment to the soldiers, civilians, and families of U.S. Army Garrison, Fort Johnson. I would also like to welcome Colonel Cliff Lopez III and his family to the MCOM readiness team. Cliff, I'm excited to see you assume command and lead U.S. Army Garrison, Fort Johnson. As a proven leader, I am confident that you will invest the same passion, professionalism, and pride with expertise into the soldiers, civilians, and family members of Fort Johnson. They deserve nothing less. And as you assume command, I will leave you with this. First, your fellow 23 garrison commanders have all dealt with the same challenges you will, and they are always ready to help, so build good connections with them. Second, you now have a much bigger family. As you heard me say earlier, take care of them all. And finally, there's going to be tough times, but to quote Tim Allen in the movie Galaxy Quest, never give up, never surrender. In closing, I'd like to thank your families, the Fort Johnson family, and all of our distinguished guests and friends for joining us today. I'll leave you with my favorite childhood saying, Slan Chava. Thank you for everything you have accomplished so far, and good luck to everything you will in the future do. Sustain, support, defend, Army strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing Garrison Commander, Colonel Smith.
Okay, let me try this. It's so hard to say goodbye. Okay, on a serious note, Sergeant Major said don't do that. So Sergeant Major, I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Ms. McCullough, Brigadier General Gardner, Mrs. Gardner, Emily, Commander Sergeant Major Hanson, Senator Reese, Representative Shamahorn, Mr. Woody Daigle of Senator Kennedy's office, Ms. Lee Turner of Senator Bill Cassidy's office, Mayor Allen, Mayor Lewing, Mayor Duvall, Mayor Standifer, Mayor Todd, Mr. Morris, Mr. Draper, Ms. Jean, Dr. Lord, Ms. Shell, Ms. Morrison, Ms. Randolph, and Mr. Russo. Hopefully, I did not leave anyone off. I'm looking around to make sure. Always awkward, okay. I also want to recognize the command teams who are here today, the spouses, directors, deputies. Thank you all for attending and sharing in this important occasion. It has been a true honor and privilege to serve the soldiers, families, and civilians here at Fort Johnson, as well as the surrounding communities of Central Louisiana. It's been a rewarding journey and quite an opportunity and experience. I've done some reflecting about the past 2 years, and I can say, without a shadow of a doubt, this has been one of the best assignments of my career. There are so many great experiences and people that I need to thank, so bear with me. I want to try to thank each and every one of you for everything you've done for our soldiers, our families, our retirees, and our community. I want to start off first by thanking Ms. McCullough, Brigadier General Gardner, Major General Doyle, as well as the support of the staffs from MCOM, FORCECOM, and AMC. We appreciate your tremendous commitment to our team and the confidence and trust you placed in me. I am also so grateful to my battle buddy, who doesn't smile much, Garrison Command Sergeant Major Nielsen. What can I say, Sergeant Major? I can say a lot, as we all know, but I'll leave it at a heartfelt thank you. And for people who didn't hear me when you gave me the guide on, I love you, Sergeant Major. Great non-commissioned officers like you are the backbone of an effective command team, and I'm gonna miss you. To the Fort Johnson Garrison and Installation team of soldiers, civilians, and contractors from Corvius, American Water, Energy, Pride, HHC Garrison Company, the soldiers, NCOs, warrant officers, and officers of 1-5 Aviation, our 8 installation partners, DECA, APES, LRC, CPAC, NEC, MIC, CID, and DFAS, the 13 Garrison Directorates, PAO, IMO, PIO, DPTMS, DPW, Safety, MWR, Chaplain, SJA, DHR, DES, EEO, and RMO. I couldn't have asked for a better team of professionals. We've accomplished great things here because of your can-do attitude, your time, your care, and your talent. All you have to do is look around this installation to see what you have accomplished the last 2 years. The Department of the Army identified Fort Polk, now Fort Johnson, as one of 4 Army installations in a program focusing on quality of life improvements. The program addressed several areas including housing, education, medical care, spouse employment, and recreation activities. More than $92 million has been invested in privatized housing for our soldiers and our families, including home renovations, community centers, HVAC improvements, and infrastructure upgrades. During the past 2 years, we've built 4 new single soldier barracks with additional 4 that are planned. There also have been renovations with the end goal for each one of our soldiers having their own apartment-style room. Additionally, there has been an internet service upgrade for the barracks that allows for high-speed internet access, and I can attest to this. The color guard out here, you got Specialist West on the far right. He's our boss president. He keeps the pulse of what's going on with our single soldiers. Staff Sergeant Coombs, he's hopefully an officer in the future. Sergeant M, a chaplain assistant, and PFC Yarn, he's a driver. Phenomenal color guard. Please give him another round of applause. So a part of the quality of life, we also had education opportunities. And this was a concern for our new families moving to Fort Johnson, and we worked with our local school systems to create and develop our STAR-based and STEM program, including an $8 million grant and an expanded virtual high school pilot program. To address concerns of spouse employment opportunities, we've worked to reimburse Army spouses for employment exams and license and registration fees. We also host quarterly hiring fairs for spouses and began a home-based business market where spouses can sell their merchandise at a monthly flea market style setup. Other quality of life improvements that you all have accomplished in the last 2 years, as you heard some of them, upgraded bowling center, Playtown Cafe, which is an indoor playground, upgraded 50-meter pool, new basketball courts at the barracks, state-of-the-art teen center, investment in Toledo Bend recreation site, new eateries from APs such as Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin Robbins, Chopped Salad, Parvo's Pizza, Slim Chickens, and Get to Crackin'. Family-friendly events such as Louisiana Hayride and Salute to the Troops that our MWR team does a great job of leading, improvements to our Warrior Hills golf course and its driving range. We have overhead sunscreens at Alligator Lake Playground, and we just are starting to install electrical vehicle charging stations. We've also made infrastructure advancements, including 12 miles of newly paved roads, and DPW, Russell, and Nate, and before him, Greg, thank you for finishing Alabama on my watch. We have 3 new green sand filtration water systems to address the high manganese and high iron in the water. We're demoing aging World War II buildings. We got a new North Fort car wash and pet cleaning station, and a $5 million upgrade to the IHG on-post hotel to give our family suites, a pool, and an elevator. It's been a busy 2 years at Fort Polk and now Fort Johnson, and our team is proud of the work that they have accomplished. But the bottom line is that an installation cannot function effectively without great people. And the Garrison team of civilians and soldiers working on Fort Johnson provide the support and continuity that is so important to both Fort Johnson and the Army. I am proud of you. I cannot thank you enough for your support. I'm also proud of the relationship we enjoy with our local communities. It is unique, strong, and unprecedented. Where else can you be stationed where the communities outside the gate welcome you with open arms and work to make quality of life better for our civilians, our veterans, and our soldiers and our families? And it's not just the communities surrounding Fort Johnson. It's cities and towns throughout the state. It's community leaders and elected officials who are part of the Fort Johnson team. What a partnership it has been. One that is woven together by the history we all share. The need to train our soldiers to protect the United States, which we have done on this installation since 1941 when Camp Polk was first created. We share a history of patriotism and service to our country. We share a history of ensuring our soldiers, those of the past and present, are ready to answer the nation's call, wherever and whenever that comes. The message Fort Johnson sends is clear. We are here, we are strong, and we are the home of heroes and the best hometown in the Army. Some of our unsung heroes are our doctors, our nurses, our dentists, our barbers, our school teachers, our CDC caretakers, our CDC cooks, baggers at the commissary, our engineers, security guards, firefighters, law enforcement, MWR frontline workers, and our protocol and customer service personnel. Please give those unsung heroes a round of applause. My family and close friends here today have traveled from 8 states and 1 country. And I appreciate your love and support by being here. I want to thank and recognize my mother, who I learned it's not about what you have, it's the difference you make with what you have been given. And for raising me, Mom, to be kind, fair, firm, and compassionate, and to pay it forward. Thanks for always loving us, Mom. My aunt is here, Diane, who 25 years ago pinned a butter bar on my shoulder. Diane, thanks for sharing in this event. I love you. My sister Amy is here, and my other sister April could not be, but thanks to you both for always being kind and loving. I want to also recognize and thank Brian, Matt, Carl, and Sharon for being great friends and helping me to be a better person and a better officer. I also want to recognize Melissa, Michael, Micah, and Sylvia for attending today and welcome me into the DePaiva family. Obrigado. I also want to thank Mamai and Emerson for their love and support. They are deeply missed, and I know are here in our hearts. I could not have survived these 2 years without the incredible command team of Command Sergeant Major Nielsen and his wife, Sarah, Mr. Beavers, Stacia, Lori, Earl, Mr. Anderson, Miss Z, Shayna, Jean, Specialist Garrett, PFC Yarn, along with all of the Garrison directors, their deputies, their division and section chiefs, the employees in our Garrison, the support from our command teams, the JRTC staff, community, and spouses. To the past and present Garrison Military Justice Advisors, Captain Parker, Captain Pryl, Captain Laporte, I appreciate your counsel and thank you for your dedication to this installation. Command teams of 15 Aviation, 519th MP, 46 engineers, thank you for your support and education you provided me. To the Eagle View crew of commanders and spouses, Ann, Telly, Matt, Sandy, Gut, Mandy, Rose, Lee, Anita, Al, Leslie, Spencer, Ryan, April, Chaplain, Lori, CJ, Mary, Brigadier General Gardner, and Miss Gardner, you all made this a better place, and it was fun. Thank you. I also want to thank again Monica for that beautiful rendition of the national anthem. She is on iTunes, so stay tuned for more to come from her. Command Sergeant Major and Color Guard, I'm almost done. 90 more seconds, okay? 2 years ago when I took command, I stated I wanted to be guided by 2 principles of taking care of people, to treat each other with dignity and respect by listening and being inclusive. And we made significant progress in accomplishing this. To the Garrison team, thank you. To Miss Chantel Williams, where you're at, stand up, please. There you are, stand up, stand up. I forgot you at the hail and farewell, and I told myself, I'm not forgetting you today, okay? So we see you, and don't ever forget that what you do for our people matters. In times of darkness, don't lose sight that you are valued. Your daughter is looking down today and is proud of you. Keep making a difference and never leave your sparkle. Thanks for what you do. Over the last couple of weeks, I've tried to personally thank most of the team. I could not get to all of the 900 civilians, employees, or the 2,000 soldiers, so please let me highlight in the last page a few that I did not get to personally thank. Betty in our Army Housing Office, Tiffany, Lindsay, TJ, Stacia, Ann, Portia, Chuck, Angie, Stormy, Sean, Ada, Oliver, Rodney, Charles, Victoria, Devin, Alicia, Allison, Michelle, Mackenzie, Melissa, Danielle, Cody, Jean, Rochelle, Jason, Ryan, Russell, Delilah, Mark, Shane, Josh, John, Brad, Linda, Janelle, Ramona, Dusty, Nate, Bobby, and the Toledo Bend crew, K2, New Parent Support Program, Youth Sports, and 50-meter pool crew. Thank you. Miss Judy Erb is here today. Ma'am, will you stand? So Miss Judy Erb helped me realize and prove my husband wrong. that at the age of 45, I'm still capable of learning a new skill, piano. Ms. Herb, you also helped me with some work balance. So not only do I thank you, my team thanks you. CJ, I welcome you and Mary to one of the best jobs in the Army, Garrison Commander of the soldiers and civilians at Fort Johnson. They are the finest group of people you will serve with, and they will do whatever is necessary to successfully complete Fort Johnson's garrison mission of building readiness and providing quality programs and services. There's one final secret to my whatever success I've enjoyed at Fort Polk, now Fort Johnson, and that is my husband. Hernan, my soulmate, my best friend, thanks for being there for me, not giving up on us, and helping me in this installation be better. Words are not enough to convey my love and admiration for you. The life that we've chosen in our career isn't as an easy one, but you've been there every step of the way. Muito obrigado, ci amo. Hernan and I leave here with fond memories and friendships that we will carry with us. I thank you for the opportunity to serve as your garrison commander. This great team has made me better as a person and as an officer. But more importantly, because of you, Fort Johnson is a better place. People first, winning matters, always out front, forging the warrior spirit, sustain, support, and defend. Be all you can be. Garrison 6, signing out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, United States Army Garrison, Fort Johnson, Colonel Lopez.
Good morning. Sam, I'd like to follow up real quick with a tune of my own. Na 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 na. I'm kidding.
Be gone.
Sam, no. You got to wait till my 4th minute to I thank you again. Miss McCullough, Brigadier General Mrs. Gardner, Command Sergeant Major Mrs. Hanson, distinguished leaders of Louisiana, fellow commanders, friends, and families of Fort Johnson, home of the heroes. Good morning. What a beautiful Louisiana day. First, thank you, Chaplain, for influencing the man upstairs to keep the Vernon Parish 100-degree-plus heat advisory from starting until after the ceremony. I know the Color of the Guard appreciates that. Huge win for the morning. Well done. And so it remains, as every day, a great one to serve in our United States Army. Brigadier General Gardner, Miss McCullough, and every other senior leader that had a hand in realizing this opportunity, and it's a privilege for me, thank you. Thank you for your trust, support, and confidence. I know the workload you each carry every day for our great Army and the nation and her people. And I know your days and nights, for that matter, are more than full. So thank you both for your service and your leadership. I pledge on my sacred honor that I will work tirelessly to boldly deliver Fort Johnson to tomorrow. To the fine leaders and executives of our greatest central Louisiana communities in Louisiana, towns and cities, Mary and I are excited to return to this area, steeped in rich Louisiana culture. I am personally thrilled to strengthen our relationships and work with you each and continue Sam's efforts to support and nurture and grow our communities to be the best home in America and carry forward that legacy from yesterday to tomorrow. Command Sergeant Major Nielsen, the soldiers on the field, and the soldiers at their stations, and the garrison civilians, all around us, you are the strength and spirit emboldening and supporting each hero and their lives at their work and helping them thrive. I'm extremely proud of you and stand humbled amongst you. You are my heroes. I promise you my best efforts every moment, and I know you'll bring yours, for the families and communities are honored by it. Sam, thank you for being my garrison commander for the last 3 years. My family and I have been a direct beneficiary of the greatness that you have brought to this garrison. My kids thank you for the renovation of the bowling alley, which is the only place they can beat me. So thank you for that. That I am joining a team of teams here is truly reflective of your enormous contribution and stewardship. You have my word that I will push hard every day to demand the best services possible for our soldiers and our families. And I promise I'll only call you twice or blame you twice when it's really my fault. Thank you. In all honesty, thank you. Thank you and Hernan for making this transition tremendous. For me, one of life's blessings is family. Mary, my lovely wife, thank you for being my tank. My tank. Weathering life's bullets and shrapnel for me and the kids while keeping us focused, supported, and cared for, and using that main cannon to scare those in our lives' way. Getting business done and life straight, I love you. Cal and Fallon, thank you for keeping me humble, especially in bowling. But I mean it. Thank you for your sacrifice and for making me great. Mom, Dad, my two sisters, Jenny and Katie, thank you for modeling selflessness, for modeling service, patriotism, and love, and for decades of support. I'm proud you're my family. I love each of you. I want to thank a couple folks that cut their teeth here at Fort Polk about 40 years ago, ahead of their Vietnam War service. Ivan and Steve, I'm honored by your service and your time here today. Thank you for sharing today with me. To my buddies here today and around the world, thank you for making life like a muscle car. Sometimes obnoxious, but always fun to drive around. And certainly, one of the most important thank yous to all the DAs, civilians, soldiers, NCOs, warrant officers, and officers for pushing me to better. It's the culmination of your patience and diligence that make today even possible for me. And last, but absolutely foremost in our hearts, the families and every Fort Johnson citizen. Thank you for your care, your support, and pride. Perfection here is my raison d'etre. Thank you each for taking time out of your busy days to celebrate Sam and I's change of command. I know that's a lot of thank yous, so Cat Mallet, let's go get some cake for the honor guard. God bless the United States of America. God bless the Army, forging the warrior spirit, sustain, support, defend, and boldly Fort Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Army song and remain standing for the retiring of the colors. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Thank you for attending the Joint Readiness Training Center and Fort Johnson Garrison Change of Command. Colonel Smith and Mr. DePavia will remain on the field if you would like to say your final farewells. Please join Colonel Lopez and family at the Warrior Community Center for their reception. Again, thank you for attending the ceremony today, and have a great Team Johnson Day.